Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Let's
Welcome
go.
back, traders. How are we
wake up.
doing? We have an absolutely beautiful set of news for you guys going over GameStop and AMC, GME. You know how it is, but we're going to dive into the Fear and Greed Index, seeing as though the stock market is peeled all the way back from greed almost into fear, sitting at 48 in neutral zone, and crypto dipping into extreme fear for the first time this month, which is a pretty crazy thing. In one day, all of those gains erased, right? Thanos snapped. But I want to give a shout out to my boy Reese, Reese Politics, giving the DD the news on GameStop. Why are we running after hours? Well, this is it, right? You had Ryan Cohen buy 500,000 shares of GameStop according to the new 13D filing, as well as Alan et al. Buys 12,000 shares of GameStop, GME marking the second board transaction today. This is insanely bullish. And in case you guys are wondering, how bullish is this really? I did a little bit more extra work for you and seeing with Grok. That's the train. Don't mind the train. Slap the sub button and let's keep rolling. All right. GME, the only 4 times in history, y'all, besides for today, that Ryan Cohen has bought shares are the following. And we're going to go over them because I want to give you some perspective of how crazy bullish this is. And this is a good sign that your confident CEO is investing further into the company, doubling down, tripling down, whatever it is, right? And we're going to start with March 22nd of 2022. And the reason why this is significant, guys, I'm sure you can see where my cursor is going. March 22nd, 2022, guys, a 30% green day. That's insane. And in case you wanted to take the full measured move, that was a 111 to 112% rally before you marked it all the way back, right? You literally double bottom and peel back all of those gains. The next example, June 9th, 2023. Let's pull that up. Let's do some DD here. June 9th, 2023. A little bit less of a reaction, but you can see he almost times the bottom here and sparks a 40% rally to the upside, filling this gap fill after what I assume, earnings, the dump and pump, or the pump and dump, as GME so well knows by now. And then April 3rd, 2025, let's pull that up. That's recent. And oh, wow, golly, what did he do? Bam! He literally times the bottom here, April 3rd, and runs it 70%. So the fact that you are getting this right now, guys, looks genuinely positive for the stock at these levels. And you can see a pretty common thread here. Ryan Cohen has been constantly accumulating shares in the low $20 share price range. That is the value territory. You can see Ryan Cohen and Roaring Kitty's average, I assume, somewhere in these low 20 territory. So it is in my mindset of why aren't I, right? And that's the fact. I am. So, I mean, not financial advice. I just love this stock at these levels. And you can see GameStop flickering in after hours, was up 3%, now up 2.8, sitting at 2169. Where is that? That is right on top of your 50-day EMA, guys. We had called this yesterday, if you watched the video, that I do anticipate a tap against this upper side resistance of the falling wedge before revisiting the belly of the beast, sitting right around $19. So that's if, right? That is an if, and a strong one at that. You do not plow through this resistance going into the 200-day EMA, because given the circumstances and the bullish trajectory of these two purchases on GameStop stock, I would not be surprised to see one of these. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Because so often, once the insiders are in, this thing freaking runs like crazy. So I would not be surprised to see a test of the 200-day EMA if SPY and IWM allow for the bearish sentiment of the market to kind of free up here. And that's what I wanted to talk about next, right? We're going to lump back into AMC and GameStop, but I wanted to, I did not mean that chart. That is insane. HYMC. All right, let's keep going. S&P 500. Let's just go back a second. That's insane. HYMC at 46. All right. SPY dumping below the 50-day EMA on the daily time frame, leaving a juicy, licking the lips, smacking the gums, gap fill sitting at $690. I do anticipate you will swing back up to get that eventually, but currently your rising wedge that you were in on SPY, the profit target of that breakdown takes you right around 661. Why is this important? Because I do anticipate you're going to drop there before filling the gap. But of course, anything in this market is possible. I just really believe in these rising wedge price targets. They've always done me right. And you can see off the breakdown, you had a pretty crazy 2% day down on high volume. That's not a good sign for the bulls, as well as a long wick candle to the upside and a close below. That's generally not a good sign for the bulls, and I do anticipate this to continue to spill over. One positive thing, though, for GameStop, for AMC, for NEO, right? IWM continues to outperform the S&P 500 in a way that I, to be honest, did not expect, right? I mean, IWM is consistently closing higher and higher and higher against the S&P, and it leads me to believe that the risk on asset season is actually coming. As you can see here, you close green. Somehow. No, the green candle is very whack. But what's the most important of all of these closes, like we talked about, this doji was bound to bring indecisive selling pressure, right? What did you do today? You held the 9-day EMA. You closed above it, and that is bullish, guys. With an inverted hammer stick candle, I do believe you will potentially spill over here to the 50. But if that does not happen, look for risk on assets to outperform, which is very strange. I did not expect to be having this conversation when SPY is down 2%. But that is the reality that we are trading in, guys. And that is a beautiful sign for the future of GME, NEO, AMC, right? So we'll continue to cover this as it develops. On the weekly, still not doing much. All right, AMC. The more you say it, the more bullish it is. AMC, right? So from the breakdown of this uptrend, right, you failed to hold the 9-day EMA. That is a critical miss. You broke down to a doji candle, red doji, off of larger than usual volume, right? Larger than your last 3 trading days. And that's going to be pretty conclusive. I do believe you're going to retest this micro wedge, right? Potentially coming down here to the low 50s, 150 or so, before hopefully finding your bottom and then rallying back up to $2. I think that's where it all leads me back to. Why do I think that? It is because you have your 50-day EMA up there. You have your previous all-time low up there. And I think as long as you're following the natural progression of this bullish, not bullish, I wouldn't say bullish, this parallel channel, right? Tap it once, you tap it to the top. Tap it once, you tap it to the top. Bam, 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 tap it once. And I do assume you're going to tap it to the top somewhere along this trend at $2. So that is what I'm watching for on AMC. Same stuff as yesterday. I just wanted to jump on here quick and talk about GameStop, because this is likely, if you could see GameStop rip ass, and find a breakout where you desperately need it, you could see GameStop outperform the market, volume hopefully spill in here and pull AMC up with you. All of that given the Fintel, right? The Fintel short interest on GameStop being 16% with a higher days to cover. and AMC short interest being right at that 20% mark, guys. Don't mind this internal service error. It happens. Happens to the best of us. I do believe you're going to come down to the belly of the beast at some point. It's just, I can't help but get excited off of this news here. And even if you reject here, so be it, right? You're going to have a pristine opportunity to accumulate shares here. If not, buy off the retest. Options, whatever you want. Not financial advice. I'm just saying what I am likely to do. But shout out to Reese. Love that man. And all of that just to say, God bless each and every single one of you guys. I love you all. Kyle, Moas, man. There is Blue Sky. There are so many out there that have genuinely been positive momentum in the channel. And I appreciate everything you guys do. I genuinely do. So from the bottom of my heart, God bless each and every single one of you. And remember, guys, the best is yet to come. Let's go.